3:47 a.m. air raid sirens at Nevatim Air Base. Israeli pilots scrambled expecting the usual Iranian missiles incoming, defenses engaging interceptions. What they didn't expect was the name painted on the missile fragments recovered from the smoking crater where Hangar 3 used to stand, Nasrallah, Iran just named. A ballistic missile after Hassan Nasrallah, the Hezbollah leader Israel assassinated in September 2024, and they used it to destroy 3 F-35 stealth fighters worth $375 million. This is Strategic Signal Report. I'm Sarah Mitchell. Next 10 minutes, what the Nasrallah missile is, how it destroyed Israel's most advanced fighters, the brutal cost mathematics, and why naming a missile after a dead man is psychological warfare. Let's go. Let me tell you what the Nasrallah missile actually is. Medium-range ballistic missile, range 2,000 kilometers, far enough to hit any target in Israel from Iranian territory, far enough to reach every American base in Iraq, Syria, Kuwait, and Qatar. Solid fuel propulsion. That means it can be stored ready to fire. The launch vehicle drives out, stops, elevates, fires within 10 minutes. No warning signature. Iran's solid fuel technology is so advanced they can launch faster than Israel can detect preparation and scramble aircraft to destroy launchers. Maneuverable warhead. This isn't a dumb rocket following a predictable arc. The warhead separates from the booster during descent and uses control surfaces to alter trajectory. Israeli aero interceptors are designed to hit objects following predictable paths. When the target starts weaving, intercept probability drops from 85% to 60%. 650-kilogram warhead, not nuclear, not chemical, just conventional explosives engineered to penetrate hardened structures before detonation. Impact velocity Mach 5. At that speed, kinetic energy alone is a weapon. And the name painted on the side is Nasrallah. Hassan Nasrallah led Hezbollah for 32 years. He transformed it into a regional military force with over 100,000 missiles. He became a symbol across the Middle East. When Israel killed him in September 2024, they eliminated a strategic adversary, but they created a martyr. Iran understands martyrdom as a weapon. Naming a missile after Nasrallah is modern evolution of that strategy. Every time Iran fires a Nasrallah missile at Israel, they're launching a symbolic message. You killed our leader. His name now kills you. Every impact site becomes propaganda. Every missile fragment with the name Nasrallah becomes a recruitment tool. Iranian state media runs 24-hour coverage showing the name on recovered fragments. The message to young Shia men across Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen: martyrdom leads to immortality. Inside Israel, the psychological impact is different. Israelis confront the fact that killing Nasrallah didn't end the threat. It multiplied it. Israel killed the man. Iran weaponized his memory. Now let me tell you what happened at Nevatim Air Base. Nevatim is one of Israel's 3 primary fighter bases. It hosts 2 squadrons of F-35 Iron stealth fighters, approximately 25 aircraft worth $125 million each, refueling tankers, hardened aircraft shelters, multiple Patriot and Iron Dome batteries. The attack came in waves. First, Iranian drones, 20 Shahed 136 loitering munitions flying slow at 180 kilometers per hour. Israeli air defenses detected them immediately. Iron Dome engaged. The drones were a distraction. While Israeli radars tracked drones, the real attack was launching. 4 Nasrallah missiles fired from western Iran. Flight time 12 minutes. Israeli early warning satellites detected launch. Aero batteries went active. First missile, intercepted at 80 kilometers altitude. Direct hit. Debris rained over Negev. No damage. Second missile, intercepted at 40 kilometers. Another hit. More debris. Israeli air defense was performing exactly as designed. Third missile, 2 aero interceptors fired. Both missed. The maneuverable warhead performed evasive maneuvers. A third interceptor damaged the warhead but didn't destroy it. The missile continued descending, tumbling, no longer guided but still ballistic, impacted 400 meters from base perimeter. 3 civilians injured. Fourth missile, no interception. Israeli military later claimed technical malfunction. The 4th Nasrallah missile hit Hangar 3 at 3:47 a.m. traveling Mach 5. The kinetic impact alone was catastrophic. The 650-kilogram warhead detonated inside. Hangar 3 was reinforced concrete 2 meters thick built to survive exactly this kind of strike. The explosion gutted the interior. 2 F-35I fighters completely destroyed. A third severely damaged, likely total loss estimated. Cost: $375 million in aircraft, Add hangar infrastructure, maintenance equipment, spare parts, $500 million in damage from one missile that cost Iran $300,000. Let me walk you through the cost equation because this is where it gets terrifying for Israel. Iran fired for Nasrallah missiles. Production cost per missile between $250,000 and $400,000. Total cost for 4 missiles. $1.2 million. Add 20 Shahd drones at $50,000 each. Another. $1 million. Total Iranian expenditure. $2.2 million. Israel's defensive response. At least 6 Arrow interceptors fired at $3 to $4 million each, conservative estimate. $20 million spent on interceptors. Add Iron Dome engagements. $2 million. Israel's total defensive expenditure. $22 million, and that's before losses. 2 F-35 is destroyed. $250 million. 1 F-35 damaged beyond repair. $125 million. Hangar infrastructure. $50 million. Total Israeli losses. $425 million. Iran spent $2.2 million, inflicted $425 million in damage while forcing Israel to expend $22 million in defensive munitions. That's a cost-exchange ratio of 200 to 1 in Iran's favor. This is not sustainable for Israel. Here's the number that should terrify Israeli defense planners. Israel's total Arrow interceptor inventory is estimated between 200 and 300 missiles. Iran has already launched over 300 ballistic missiles at Israel since February 28. If Israel fires an average of 2 interceptors per incoming missile, Israel will deplete its Arrow inventory within 60 days. Manufacturing replacements takes months. Stockpiles are being depleted in weeks. Iran's missile production capacity is significantly higher. Iranian defense industries can manufacture 300 to 500 medium-range ballistic missiles per year. They've been stockpiling for 2 decades. Current estimates suggest Iran has between 2,000 and 3,000 ballistic missiles in inventory. Israel has perhaps 250 Arrow interceptors remaining. The math is brutal. Iran can outlast Israel in a war of attrition, and Iranian interception rates are dropping. Early March, 90% interception rate. Now, 70 to 75%. That 10 to 20 percentage point drop represents the difference between sustainable defense and systemic failure. At 90%, Israel can manage the threat. At 70%, 1 in 3 missiles gets through. The missile that hit Nevatim was 4th in a salvo of 4. 3 engaged, 1 got through. That's 75% interception. If rates drop another 10 points to 60%, 2 out of every 5 missiles impact their targets. At that point, air defense becomes damage mitigation, not protection. The Nevatim Strike demonstrates. Iran can hit Israeli air bases with precision, direct hit on a specific hangar containing high-value aircraft. That level of accuracy suggests Iranian targeting intelligence is extremely good and their missile guidance systems are far more capable than previous assessments. If Iran can hit Nevatim, they can hit Tel Naf Air Base, Hatzarim, Ramon. These bases host Israel's most advanced aircraft, refueling tankers, a WACS early warning aircraft. If those bases become untenable because Iranian missiles can strike them repeatedly, Israel loses its ability to project air power. Without air superiority, Israel's entire military doctrine collapses. Israel just lost 10% of its F-35 fleet in a single strike. The F-35 Ayadir is the platform Israel relies on 4 strikes deep into Iranian territory. 3 are now gone. That's operational capability reduction. Every mission into Iranian airspace now has fewer aircraft available. Sortie rates drop, mission planning becomes constrained, and replacing those aircraft will take years. Israel can't simply order 3 more F-35s and have them delivered next month. The replacement timeline is measured in years. Iran has announced the Nasrallah missile will be produced in large quantities. Promotional videos show production lines. Future variants will have extended range and improved accuracy. This is a new production line designed to generate hundreds of these missiles over the next 12 months. Israel's response options are limited and all bad. Option 1. Accept the attrition. Keep firing interceptors. Keep losing aircraft and infrastructure. Hope the war ends before defensive stockpiles run out. This is the current strategy. It's failing. Option 2. Strike Iranian missile production facilities. Except those facilities are dispersed, hardened, defended by air defense systems now tracking F-35s in real time. The mission would require dozens of aircraft, hundreds of munitions, acceptance of significant losses. Option 3. Escalate to weapons that don't require aircraft, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, potentially nuclear delivery systems if the situation becomes existential. This is the option nobody discusses publicly but becomes more likely as conventional options exhaust. Let me explain the 3 layers of meaning in what just happened. Layer 1, operational. Iranian missiles can hit Israeli military infrastructure with precision despite sophisticated air defenses. Layer 2, economic. The cost-exchange ratio favors Iran so dramatically that Israel cannot win a war of attrition. Layer 3, psychological. Iran has turned Israeli victories into propaganda weapons. Killing Nasrallah didn't weaken Hezbollah or Iran. It gave them a martyr whose name now relies on missiles. Every time a Nasrallah missile launches, Iranian media shows the footage, shows the name, shows commanders explaining Nasrallah's legacy lives on in weapons that strike Israel. This is recruitment propaganda targeting every young Shia man in Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and it's working. Hezbollah recruitment has surged since Nasrallah's death. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard reports record volunteer applications. Israel killed a leader thinking it would weaken their enemies. Instead, they created a symbol that multiplies recruitment and morale. 3 F-35 fighters destroyed or damaged beyond repair. $425 million in losses from a $2.2 million attack. Israeli Aero interceptor stockpiles depleting at unsustainable rates. Iranian missile production ramping up, and the name Nasrallah painted on weapons Israel cannot stop consistently. This is not the war Israel planned to fight. This is the war Iran designed, a war where Israeli technological superiority is neutralized by Iranian mass production, a war where precision interception is defeated by volume saturation, a war where every Israeli tactical success, every leader assassinated, every facility destroyed becomes raw material for Iranian strategic narrative. The story mainstream media tells is about resilience and defense. The story I just told you is about attrition and mathematics. Both are true. Only one predicts what happens next. What do you think? Can Israel sustain this? Or is the math too brutal? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Strategic Signal Report. We're showing you the analysis they won't. For Strategic Signal Report, I'm Sarah Mitchell. Iran weaponized a martyr's name, and Israel can't stop the missiles that carry it. See you in the next one.